ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm Adam Steele for Hot Pole Studios, and I am not in my own studio today. I am in the studio of Zilla Cabs with Paul from Zilla.
Hey.
And I'm technically on holiday, so I shouldn't really be here, but I used it as an excuse to come down and see Paul and do some videos and chew the fat and say hello in person again.
See the new workshop.
Yes, absolutely. And a fine workshop it is. And there's lots and lots of work around the place.
Yeah,
that's one way of putting it. Yeah. So we did an interview a few years ago now.
Yeah.
It's been a while. If I remember rightly, you had dreads at that point.
Oh, it was long hair. It wasn't quite dreads. It was just super messy. So It may have looked like
Yeah, and so it's been that long that you're in a new place, new staff, new business is booming, new YouTube channel. Check that out. That did not exist, and now it does. There will be a link in the description to check out the Zilla YouTube channel. So how is life? I mean, we're socially distanced here. We're still in lockdown mode. How's it been?
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's been weird.
It's been good. We've been busy. The new place is big, so there's a lot of stuff needs doing. Move took a lot of time and effort, but we've carried on. I think this year looks like it's going to be about same as last year for what we put out, which, to be honest, is a bit of a miracle considering what's been happening, plus the move, which was a killer.
Well, it was about 100 miles more?
I think it's about 110 miles, yeah. And so, I don't even know how many trips.
Well, you've lifted up an active business, wholesale, the whole thing. That's not like moving house. It was. Did you have to put all the building operations on hold for a while, or did you just move the bare minimum and carry on? Or?
We were doing it over a while. When did we start? Well, actually, saying that though, looking back, it was probably over 2 months.
Right.
Every time I'd come down, we had the place for a while before we started moving in. They had to get like all the old machinery out and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I'd kind of be bringing bits and bats down as I'd be coming down. Driving. I'd be driving down a lot, sorting stuff out.
Right.
We had one guy here all the time fixing stuff up and that. But the main move was probably 6 to 8 weeks. 6 weeks probably. I can't believe we did. I mean, we were still getting about 10 cabs out a week. So
that's a fair old rate. I mean, at the time it was still just you and Joe, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
there's
growing now.
4 of us now. Well, actually, the sad thing about not the sad thing about COVID. This is going to sound stupid. The annoying thing. This is only a mildly annoying thing compared to like what's actually happened. But the annoying thing was I was just weeks away from. We'd moved down about 2-3 weeks. We'd actually started semi-working here sort of 3 weeks before the lockdown, 4 weeks tops, and I was probably a week. I was starting to think about putting job adverts out, and then that thing just. And you're thinking, it's so annoying because, like, I think it'd be a fun job for someone.
Yeah. And
it's cool and it's like a nice sign for us. And it also helps us because it relieves a bit of the... And all of a sudden, you're not allowed to, like, leave your house.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, how do we get someone new here? You kind of got to train them up. You've got to find people that, so it kind of stopped that for a good while. We got a new guy, started last month.
Right.
Gary.
So I've not seen him around today, so is he just part-time?
No, he's part-time. That's because... That's all. I've known Gary for quite a few years, actually. Right. And he lives locally. So it kind of... I just tapped him up and I was like, hey, do you know anyone before I start putting adverts out? And he was like... Yeah, me. So, he's been good. it's kind of taken the edge off a bit with work and building up backstock and all that kind of stuff. But I think soon, hopefully, we'll start looking again to get someone else in.
Cool. So if you live in the local area to Zilla Cabs and you are desperate and good with working with wood in your hands, give Paul a call. I mean, that's not the only thing that's gone on since the last time we did an interview, and the GGD Zilla set, that didn't exist at all.
No, well, actually, it probably did. It's just nothing had been done with it. I've been talking to Des for... I was in London when we first started talking, and we moved from London at the end of 2011.
Right.
So, but we started recording all that in middle of 2017, which is probably about when it would be. It
would be around that time, because I distinctly remember that we had a conversation about virtual cabs and that kind of thing around that time.
Yeah.
But you did mention to me, and again, now it's completely public knowledge, but you mentioned that the whole thing with those guys was happening, so I was like, okay, fair enough.
So it was probably about then, but there was a load of stuff to get right. They were originally, it was just going to be sort of I don't really use this kind of stuff, so I don't really know a massive amount about the other stuff that's out there and that, but it was originally going to be like just impulse things that you get in a file and all that kind of stuff. Then it ended up as like a program thing with an interface and all that, which is, I think, looks really cool.
It does,
but it was more than originally. At least it was more than I thought it was going to be.
Well, it definitely took a while from start to finish because of that, I would imagine. Yeah. But I think it makes it friendly for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you're not as nerdy, technically minded as someone like, say, me, then having an interface where you can go, this is that speaker, this is that cab, lays it out for you.
It was really easy for someone like me who doesn't use that kind of stuff, because you can see it all in front of you, and you see, I know it sounds stupid, but you see a picture of a 4x12, and then you go onto the 2x12 and you see a picture of the 212 and see a picture of the speaker and all that kind of stuff, and the mics.
It connects the dots.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It all kind of flows and kind of makes more sense that way. And you got like a little fader thing, which makes it...
It's really nice. Have you found, since that's come out, that you get more calls from people saying things like, I've heard these, I want a real one?
You know what, I'm not entirely sure. People mention it.
Right.
But I don't know the extent to how much business it's particularly... I mean, it's bound to have done so.
Yeah, I would have thought so. I suppose, thinking about it, not everybody who puts in an order gives you the entire reasoning for how they've ended up putting the order in.
Yeah.
Because that's something, the first time we ever talked, and this is a long time ago now, a friend of mine had been at an event called Tech Fest, which is where Paul had supplied all the cabinets, and my mate Chris wouldn't shut up about how good they were. And that's what, word of mouth, putting the phone call, and through us, I think, what am I on now, my 9th or 10th cab?
Something like that.
We've built up this relationship, but if it was just one that I bought, I suppose we wouldn't have spent a lot of time talking about, I found you through this, that kind of...
Yeah.
Because with still being quite a small operation, I suppose you don't have a huge amount of time when you're on the phone with everybody to talk for half an hour.
I don't know, I do as much as needed. Actually, to be honest, these days we probably get fewer phone calls than we used to do. Most of it's emails.
Right.
But we do a lot more overseas stuff now, so maybe that's just kind of easier for people. But yeah, no, I'm always up for chatting about cabs and stuff. Yeah. It often comes out. It's just with the GGD stuff. I mean, it's hard to connect everything, because as that came out, it was only probably a few months before that we started the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Or started actually regularly putting any kind of content up. So it's hard to know exactly how much would be that, or the YouTube, or just general growth, or whatever.
All goes together, doesn't it? I'm sure it all goes together, because when people see the GGD stuff, because GetGood drums, they're doing really well for themselves.
Yeah.
Then people will find out that you've got a YouTube channel and they'll watch that. Then they'll see other videos and they'll see, like, I've seen so many. I keep my eye out for Zilla cabs on other stuff.
Yeah.
And like that pedal show, they've got at least one that I know of, probably several.
Yeah.
I know that mix a bit.
We're building one for him at the moment. Dumble style 4x12.
Ooh.
So keeping fitting with all the 4x12s we seem to have stacked up.
Yeah. That's the thing, more and more artists I'm seeing one in the background.
Yeah.
And it seems to be that when the leading lights in whatever community use gear, all the fans look at it and go, "What's that?
Yeah.
I want one of them." And phone goes or email goes.
Oh, we've all done it, haven't we?
Oh, absolutely.
Seen the...
Yeah, I do it far too often. That's the entire reason that I run the YouTube channel, is that I had to find a way to justify and finance all the, now I'm going to buy this. Oh, God. And it's like there's so many things that we all do in this industry where you see a thing and you end up buying 10 of the thing.
Yeah.
You just
there
tell
we
me.
go.
Yes, exactly.
Stack of stilettos.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, that's not all the ones that are here.
Jesus. Well, I know you had a Road King as well, because that's now my Road King.
We used to have 3.
Jesus.
And a Roadster. No, that's actually I'm not that much of a hoarder. It was...
How many Marshalls have you got, Paul?
Yeah, a few. But they, the Road Kings were an opportunity that came up. So
Yeah.
I wanted a few amps, but it all came as a big set, so I had to buy the whole lot. And then I just kind of sold a few. I had a Road King before. I've still got one.
Yes, I remember you saying that one of the ones that you had is now my one.
I think your one actually sounded the best of the lot.
I wouldn't know how to...
I don't know why they'd sound different.
Time of day? I mean, valves are weird. Valves can be so strange. Like, I brought a 5150 to play with today, and we plugged it in and we're like, no, this is broken. It was only completely bad.
It sounded rubbish, didn't it?
Yeah, all I had to do was open the back up and wiggle the preamp valves, and suddenly it was fine.
Because I was... the whole point of that video was I wasn't a massive fan of them.
No.
Watch the video. And then I heard it and I was like, yeah, that's why I'm not a massive fan.
Yeah.
But then you fixed it and then I became a convert.
Yeah, but it's with valves, they're so organic, aren't they? That, like, it can be that you do like an amp, but a valve is going, or you don't like an amp, but it's got the perfect valves in.
Yeah.
It can.
They were all really good. They'd all been serviced at the same place at the same time.
Right.
So who knows? But yours sounded nicer than mine. Although mine has a dodgy channel 3, so
Should have sold me the other one.
We'll swap it.
But yeah, another thing that's new since we last talked is the whole website got redone a while back.
Yeah, that was Joe.
Nice one,
that
Joe.
was a while. That one was that like 2 years ago.
I think it might have been around then, because it has been, like I say, a while since
We'd got. There'd just been so many things that needed updating on it, and we just thought, sod it, we'd do it ourselves.
One thing that I've definitely noticed about the new website is there was a much bigger range of standard cabs, if you will, that were on there.
Yeah.
Because as long as I've known you, you'll make pretty much anything weird and wonderful. But the standard range was relatively limited at that time. I think there were 3 2x12s and a couple of 1x12s, and everything else was custom.
It was. I mean, to be honest, the range hasn't actually changed. It is just the website.
Yeah.
They were probably tucked away somewhere on the website, or I don't know. But the range hasn't changed for a good while. But they, as the website got updated, they all just kind of went on there.
Yeah.
In a more concise. I think it's a lot easier to I don't know, just scroll down the page and actually see what there is.
Yeah.
The trouble is, there's so many. There's a lot of standard designs that cover the bases, and then there's fully custom stuff, and then there's a load that kind of sit in between where we will probably make, I don't know, 6 or 10 a year or something like that, that aren't on the website, but we quite often will keep in stock, or the woodwork, stuff like that, because it's popular design. And if someone's saying they've got a particular job or whatever, certain amp they're using, or they're trying to do a certain thing, then the kind of, I don't know, semi-standard model will work good. So there's kind of a whole load just below the surface,
right?
Which won't go on the website because it'd just make it too confusing.
I wonder if it'd be worth having some sort of thing of options, just a small thing. I don't know.
What, different sizes and stuff?
Or just under each side, I don't know, under 412, just strange options, just a little paragraph or something, because it'd be pretty cool to know that these things are possible.
Well, we tried to kind of bring that into I assume, I don't really go on the website, but I assume there's a kind of a custom cut thing where we'll say we'll do anything.
Yes.
So I kind of just lump all that in together.
Yeah.
But I like talking to the customers, like you were saying earlier about not having time, but I actually make sure I have the time, because that's how you make sure they get a cab that's really good for them. But those kind of things will come out in the conversation. If it's something that they're open to and something that I think would be beneficial, then it usually gets mentioned, and then it's just shooting ideas back and forth, and you kind of home in. Maybe you take a standard model but tweak it a bit, or just a standard model, or one of the semi-standard custom-y kind of things, or just something completely different.
Yeah. It would be interesting to have a massive list, but I suppose that is just never ending. Yeah,
well, the trouble is, on the standard cabs, there's about, when it comes to Tolex, probably 40 or 50 standard colours, so there's enough options to kind of do your head in.
Yes.
I mean, it's quite often that someone will email and you'll be talking back and forth, and they'll be like, all right, that's it, I'm going to order a cab. I'm just going to think about the colours, and then you'll hear back 2 weeks later, and they'll just be like, oh, I can't decide, I'm just going to go for a black one.
Which black?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah. Lucky for me, I found my brand, so to speak.
The Wine Taurus.
Wine Taurus, black front.
It's a good one, that.
Yeah. Lucky, because I've got 2 other Zilla cabs that don't match that scheme, but they're cool, but they're not my thing.
The Wine Taurus, your Mesa looked really nice in that, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
I thought that worked really well. Did you kept the black grill cloth?
Yes.
And we put some new corners on it.
Yeah.
I remember that looking really, really nice.
Yes. So if you're looking for the Adam Steele signature colours, no, God, no, that's awful. But yeah, I mean, there's so many options though. You're building a cab for a Canadian friend of mine, or is that?
Oh yeah. That's on my bench. Actually, it's on Joe's bench because I put it on there to make some space.
Yeah, God knows when we'll see that on his channel. It's Glenn Fricker, everybody. But that's in the works. And didn't he ask for the craziest colours he could find?
He did, and then ended up going for white with black racing stripes. Is that his Dodge Challenger that he sent me a picture of?
Must be. I wasn't copied into that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because he was like, I'm just going to go for this colour scheme, and it was a white Dodge Challenger with the black racing stripes, and I've got a bit of a thing for the Challenger. And I was like, hey, here's a picture of the one I had. But
I wouldn't mind betting. I mean, he's the world's angriest Canadian, but in real life he's not. He's
so an American. Scratch that. Take that out.
Yeah, he has just bought himself a big £20 sledgehammer, but hopefully not for the cab.
Right.
He's doing fearless gear reviews at the moment, so fingers crossed this one comes out well.
Oh, what? So he smashes it up if
it's terrible? Yeah.
Really?
He won't do with that, I'm sure of it. Absolutely convinced. But yeah, anything that's absolutely terrible, like there've been some digital modelling amps that he's taken the hammer of truth to.
Hammer of truth.
Yes, indeed. But anyway, we have taken up enough of your time, ladies and gentlemen. I have to disappear and film lots of stuff and then be on my way. But Paul, thank you so much for having me and letting us use your film studio for the day. And is there anything on the horizon for Zilla that we've not seen yet?
We don't know. More videos. That's about it. No, new models. Oh, actually, there's something, but I'm not going to say.
Oh, mystery. You'll have to watch the Zilla Cabs YouTube channel to find out what that is in due time.
Oh, when it's done, I'll send you one.
Ooh, looking forward to it. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul from Zilla Cabs.
See ya.
See you in the next video.
Bye.
Hey everyone, that might be the end of the video, but if you fancy carrying on this conversation, we have a Discord server, link is in the description. We're also on Patreon, which is something you can really help us with. We also are on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Hop Hole Studios. See you there.